Us.
So,
Recording in process also. Thank you.
yes. All right. So, tonight is reading. ¿Sí?
Okay.
Confío en que trajimos los snippets, los prometidos, snippets or screenshots.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yes, okay. Let's take him out. Who wants to begin? Alguien que nos muestre ahí algo interesante que encontró en el libro. Somebody. And you can share your screen if you want.
Juan Carlos say me. Juan Carlos said me. Yes, Juan Carlos.
Mimi? Mimi?
Juan Carlos ¿es Lucho? Juan Carlos ¿es Lucho? Okay. Lucho. So,
I show us the last class.
don't worry. Page 8.
Page 8.
Okay. I put attention in the way that the author mentioned that we need to be a collect against a burden.
A what? A collect? What do you mean a collect? Show us the page. You have it there? La tienes ahí.
Yep.
De pronto.
This one?
No, not yet.
Now?
The green
Okay.
paragraph, the green sentence, Juan Carlos?
Yep.
The green sentence. Okay, good. Can
Can
you read it? Can you read it?
Okay. He were free from the burden of trying to be completely original. We can start trying to make something out of nothing. And we can embrace influence instead of running away from it. I like this part because before that, they mentioned that the possibility that the good advice is trying to steal, but is parts is not completely the before idea or the original idea to copy in everything. So because you simply it becomes to something like collector no, maybe it's a something that simply is fill out to garbage, to trash. So you need to select the best way of everything to try to build your idea with the before ones, but the specific points of the before ones. So I choose this part because if you what
There's a
happened?
mosquito.
What happened? Okay. You are distract me. So in this part, if we're free from the burden of trying to be completely original, we can start trying to make something out of nothing.
But can you give us an example of your life? Has this ever been like, could this describe a moment in your life that you saw something and you let something influence your decision?
I afraid
For instance, I'm going to ask you a question. You want to immigrate, right?
Yeah.
Is this something that just appeared in your mind one day, or is because a friend of yours or family member immigrated and you started thinking about it?
I have taken many ideas or some ideas of them. For example, first of all, I wanted to go to Spain because in Spain we were some relatives, and I hoped to go there, to went there, and especially try to stay there before we can start with a new life. Every time is from scratch, obviously, because it's another
and
country, because it's
exactly,
another
it's a different experience, it's a different person, it's a different life.
But my first idea, it was going to another place, with any place, some place where I could have to some relatives. But before one, especially with Spain, with the maybe the economy, or maybe these opportunities is less for salary or for money than another countries in the same Europe, on this case in America. I took the decision about to study English. Is my first idea to try to study by myself. It was 3 years ago, so it's another topic that I took account in this moment. But for make the long story short, obviously I had the decision, but I built the decision after many situations have happened in the wild, in the road. So first of all, I wanted to go to Spain. After a while, I wanted to go to Canada, but because the immigration plan is more generosity. For instance, because they offer some opportunities to go there and becomes to citizen, or maybe before the citizen become to permanent resident. Yeah, okay. So and before one, when my visa is ready, so I changed my decision. It's not considered that I don't have a soft mindset in the idea. It's because I against to be soft in my plan. Is before is consequence the another situation. The one
And you
situation,
let yourself be influenced.
That's the
so
that's the point.
I build my plan with always respect the process, respect my learning by myself. When I feel my confidence with my language, for example, or maybe when I have seen situation that in this part I consider, obviously, for example, Canada is a greatest country, it's the largest country, but for example, the water is more extremely for another places.
Yeah,
So,
what I'm trying to point out is that everything in life is a matter of comparison, influenced by people that you trust, etc. And so you're copying people. If you immigrate to Canada, you're comparing and letting yourself be influenced by people that have been there and are telling you right now, look, here there are many opportunities and blah, blah, blah. So you start making up your own criteria to make decisions based off it.
Another thing is maybe is controversial, but I am a believer. So I take the signals in my life that have happened and have done that I take another way to change
And you
my
let yourself be influenced by circumstances that emerge, right?
So
Awesome.
in this case, another thing that I point, let me share you.
Let's switch over to another person so we can have a more distributed conversation. So maybe let's go to Luis or to Alex if you have something, or Bernardo, and then we return back to you. So we can all have a chance of presenting our ideas and comparing.
So stop sharing.
Yep,
So
thank you.
who wants to continue?
Please, Juan Carlos, let me
Let me
stop. No, it's joke. It's joke.
He wants to steal my idea also.
Still, he's still like an artist. He's an artist.
He learns quickly. He learns quickly. So,
Yeah. And here, Julie. Hi, Julie. Thank you for stopping by. And Bernardo as well.
I love your jacket.
Yeah, very nice jacket.
Wow.
Very sexy jacket. Sexy jacket and a sexy woman.
No, sexy a lot. Every time. Love it. I love it.
Is
All
a
right, so who's
military
next?
jacket?
I love it.
Is
I
a
love it.
military jacket?
It's a semi-military.
It's a sexy army gear.
Who's next? Luis,
Me,
Alex.
me.
Okay, Luis. Okay, got it.
I am sharing, no?
No.
No.
Oh, are you? No.
Mm,
Now, yes. Now you're starting to share.
Okay. I found two
I'm only seeing
sketches.
a portion. I'm only seeing a portion of the note.
and a slit. No. You don't get
I'm only seeing a corner. Únicamente estoy viendo una esquina.
una esquina.
Una esquina de la nota.
Why? I don't
I don't know.
understand.
What about you guys? ¿Están viendo una esquina o no? ¿O lo están viendo completo?
Full.
¿Ah, sí? Te soy yo. Te soy yo. One second.
I can see it.
It's part of the test.
Era
It's
yo.
part.
It was me. Sorry.
You don't get to pick your family, but you can
Mhm.
pick your teacher and you pick your friends, and you can pick the music you listen to, and you can pick the books you read, and you can pick the movies you see.
Why is that important to you? Why did you like it?
Don't worry. It's not. It doesn't matter. Your genetic or where you come. You can convert. You can convert. You want to be. Because you decide how you want to advance, how to want to learn, how to want to know other impact people for you, and that's is the main of this sentence.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I also believe it's important that the things that you can determine, or the things you can choose or pick, you exercise that right. You exercise that right and choose what pleases you, what makes you happy. If you like a hamburger right now, eat a hamburger. It's your choice. I want to be taller, but I can't do anything about it. It's not going to change. But do I want to listen to jazz right now? Okay, so let's listen to jazz. So exercise the right of choosing, I think, is the main idea.
I also choose this part in my analysis is not for copy, not for copying to Luis. It's for conclude that you has a consequence of something. You don't choose your parents, your relatives, your other relatives, but you have the situation that you have the chance to change, because it depends to you. But the idea is to choose, or you simply make something else in the situation that depends of you for changing the situation that don't depends of you. So,
Exactly.
For example, if your father were a thief, but the bad thief, right?
Not a good thief.
Not a good thief, a bad thief. For example, in this case, if your father were a thief, you don't need to be a thief. If you know that is something illegal in this
Yeah.
case.
Or if
But-
you weren't born in the
Ah.
States, you can
So-
still pick English
Exactly.
and speak it.
Yeah, exactly. So you in the situation that depends to you, you needed or you must must do situation to change the bad things in your background.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you can't change everything, but you can change yourself. All right. Good job. Good point. All right. So who's next?
I want to share something, but I'm not
Mhm.
sure if I can hear in my. I don't know how can I
In the
share
phone,
my screen. Yeah.
mom, sleep the screen, and you can find the share button.
Yeah.
Leave until found the buttons.
Yeah. Mm, share, but I don't know how can I
Oh,
share
maybe
the
you need to go
screen.
to, no, you need to go to security and then allow sharing. I think.
Mm,
Let me take a look. I think that there's a setting in security or
sorry,
permissions.
yeah, let me try something. Share whiteboard. Camera. No. Screen. But I need to select one application to share.
Let me
This
see.
is in Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Let me check if I need to set permission to this.
Okay.
Now
Yes.
you
got
can
it.
see my screen.
You got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This is
You got
the phrase. This is the phrase that I want to
Oh,
share.
I was gonna share that one too. You steal it from me. You stole it from me. Okay, now I want you to present it. Why is this important to you? Why?
So for me, it's very interesting phrase because it's real. If we want to do something that maybe we don't know how can I do, or we don't know how can we do it, we need to try to convince ourselves that we have the ability to do it, or try to be secure that we are doing that thing. For example, we are in this moment we are learning English, and the idea is try to imitate or try to simulate that we are speaking English, or that maybe we are native speak English.
Yeah.
In order, the idea is try to convince ourselves that we are that person that we wanted to be. And I consider that applying this, we can convince, or we can I don't know how can I say that. We can be more secure that we are going, that we are doing, and it's very it's real. We need to imitate something to start working on that until you are the other or the rest of the people see you as look as you want to be.
And what do you think about the metaphor, the world's a stage?
Yeah. Sorry, I can hear you very well. I have some internet issues. Could you repeat that again, please?
No, I asked, what do you think of the metaphor, which is below on the page, that reads, all the world's a stage, according to William Shakespeare?
I'm not sure about the meaning of stage. Stage is like point in there.
No, the stage is el escenario.
Yeah, it's like a. Okay. I was confused. I thought it was paradero o algo así. Yeah, absolutely. The world is on stage because we are each of us. We are simulating. We are trying to do, or we are trying to be someone maybe is maybe someone are maybe we are inspired for someone else, or yeah, we want to be, and yeah, all the time we try to be the better person that we can. But yeah, the idea is that the stage is this, where we are trying to be someone, maybe based in the thing that we see around us, and based on that we start working or building that personality, or that the kind of person that we want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a very fitting metaphor for our situation, where we don't speak the language, but we need to act as if we did. And before you know it, you become that person.
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. I loved it. I wanted to share that one as one of my contributions. Okay, cool. So who's next? Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome.
Me, teacher.
Go ahead, Julie.
Okay. I have a fragment. I don't know what exactly page is, and it says, "Be your own school." I think it's up to shape our future. So I love this phrase, "Be your own school." I think
Be your own school.
Yeah. I think, or in my case,
beyond school.
Be your own school.
Okay.
Okay, I think in my case is I have creation in my music, in my mind, and I love it, and all the things around me. So I love in this phrase that be your own school.
And so how do you see this in your life again?
I found inspiration with my music, with my life, and everything in my mind is very strong. So
Okay.
I'm sure my school is very chill and very cool.
I like that. I like that very much. I love it. I'm gonna steal it. I'm gonna steal that from you.
Sure.
Okay. So next, thank you. Who's next? Anybody has anything?
Hey,
I got
teacher.
something. Oh, Bernardo has something. Great.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna share the screen. Um, this, yeah, I want to share this one, this part. Yeah, I like it because I can apply this, or I can use this in my actually career or in the future when I am when I will be working in my profession. So because like how say the how they say in everything comes to another thing. Yeah. So no, there's nothing that comes from nowhere. Yeah. So for example, in my career, what is graphic designer, um every time where when the teacher assign you a homework, they always tell tell us that we need to work um reference, yeah, because it is important to look for reference, um and try and take the reference to make a new things, but always we need to focus, or we need to pay attention to do reference. Yeah, if we take a look to the past, we can notice that every artistic style comes from another artistic style. Yeah, because and just the artists make a little change because maybe they don't want to use maybe the color or the structure, but always taking the reference. Yeah, so that is my idea.
Good. I like it very much. Like you very much. Thank you for sharing. Stealable. Okay, I'm also gonna make my contribution and then we can start another round. My contribution is this, and I'm gonna tell you why this is important to me. As English teachers, we the education we receive, the training, the materials that we're giving, start building up on our repertoire. And I remember when I was just starting, I was always looking for things that I liked. That was my big appetite. I want to find things that I like. And I was always trying many things. And I am a person that when I go to a library, for example, well, libraries really don't exist anymore. Shame. But the problem with me, and then when I go to a bookstore, if I decide to buy a book, guess what I do? I don't go and get a book at a time. I'm not the kind of person that takes a book, sits and decides, I like this, or I'll go find another one. No, I start looking at one and another, and I carry 10 or 20 books to a table, and then I decide. That's the way I do it. That's the way I studied. That's the way I learned. That's the way I started to teach. I was always collecting. They gave me one book that I was supposed to use as reference. the text that was the guide, the text guide. But I was never happy with it. It was not enough. I was always looking for many things. My first job was at Colombia Americano, right? In Medellín. It's a big school, used to be one of the best. Obviously, things have a cycle. Yeah, things change. But it was the best school in town. And I was very privileged to be a teacher there when I was very young. That was my first job. And I would go to the library every day and look for many things, not to plan, just to steal from here, steal from there. And there was a copy machine. That was my best friend. I made so many copies, and I gave those to my students and everything. But there was something always that I would find, like, I love this, but I would love to change something. And then when finally they invented copy and paste on computers and stuff like that, I was so happy because I could change everything. I would steal something, but then personalize it according to my likes. And this is something that happened, but it's something that always happens to me. If you remember last year we started with Kahoots, remember? For the ones that were with me last year, we had Kahoots. And my Kahoots was one book that I liked very much, was Betty Azer's English Grammar. Let's see if I have it over here. Let me show you for a second. Hang on. There are 3 books. Let me see. This is Fundamentals, Basic English Grammar. It's not here, but I'll show you another one. It's fine. I'll show you another one. Fundamentals. Okay. So there's this book. Okay? And so in this book, let's say, for example, we're talking about parallel verbs, okay? I want to teach you this. So then what I do is I'm going to take this information and I'm going to put it into Kahoot. So I start copying, right? I start copying, making sense of what I want to copy, because I always have like the mental editor. I'm copying up to a point. I can change this, I can change that. Inevitably, what happens with me, the exercise is I start to copy. And at some point, I'm like, what about this? Sometimes by mistake, sometimes by luck. I start copying, everything the same. And then as I copy, I start to see a different world, a different reality. Of course, when I'm changing this from here, from the page to Kahoot, which is interactive, then I start to see possibilities. What about doing this? It's inevitable. It's inevitable when you copy. When you're copying, is not a perfect copy. You know that somebody can make the Mona Lisa, but it's not the Mona Lisa, you know? That's it. It's the same with this. I cannot copy this book exactly. I can't. And especially if I'm doing it by hand or with a process, it's not going to be the same. And it's inevitable. Something is going to get lost. Something is going to get found, and things are going to change inevitably. And that's what happened with Kahoots. I started with a book in this series called Basic English Grammar, and I started copying until I started to find things, and then I started to change things inevitably. So I like this very much. Start copying. Why? Because what it says here, nobody is born with a style or a voice. We don't come out of the womb knowing who we are. Okay, so I don't know who I am, in other words. In the beginning, we learn by pretending to be our heroes. Mom, dad, Superman. We learn by copying. We're talking about practice here, not plagiarism. Plagiarism is trying to pass someone else's work off as your own. If I sell the book and I say, oh, I wrote this book, that's plagiarism. Copying is about reverse engineering. It's like a mechanic taking apart a car to see how it works and building something different. And so it says here, Yoji Yamamoto says, start copying what you love. Copy, 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 copy. At the end of the copy, you will find yourself. Sage words.
How long did you take the Kahoot in this time? Maybe with this.
I copied for 9 months. And then I found myself.
Kahoot, for example, one Kahoot for this subject. How long did you?
Copying one Kahoot would take me about 2 hours.
2 hours. Wow.
Building a Kahoot, because then you have images and stuff, and it makes you think. It's inevitable.
Because it's a carpintería.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work. But it's not a waste. It's not a waste. If you think like, okay, I'm not using Kahoots right now with the basic course. And you'd be like, but you're wasting that opportunity. Well, I created other opportunities.
Yep.
What happened probably is that copying so much of what I liked made me see opportunities that were not there. That's it. It's inevitable. I changed. I mean, I started to think, we don't need this. But it was because I found it through copying and copying and copying. Even though I like the Kahoots very much, I don't use them anymore very much. That's it. But it was something that took me 9 months of copying. And I was not copying exactly. I can show you the exercise in Kahoot, and I can show you the part of the book where I got it from. And at the beginning, it's pretty solid. Oh, it's almost the same. But little by little, you start to see the difference. It's because it's inevitable, because I need to add color. I need to choose what kind of question, because it's not all filling the blanks.
Personalize your idea.
It's inevitable.
Your task.
But the miracle is copying. Really, the miracle is copying. It's a miracle thing. Copying someone or copying something.
It's the same way when you took a recipe from YouTube, from
Absolutely.
YouTube, for example.
And then you make a mistake.
Yeah, no, or you simply.
Or you don't have crema and you put milk.
Yeah, you don't have some ingredient. Also, you can replace with another one, or maybe you love this ingredient in this recipe, so you prefer to make more quantity in this case. So you personalize your work. It's the same way.
And also after a while, maybe we call it expertise, we start to get our own criteria to make changes. Or sometimes we just get bored. I remember when I was a kid, I had to do many, what are they called? They're called, what are they called? They're called, they have a name, las planas in English. Do you remember las planas? Yeah. I can't remember right now what it's called in English right now. Right this moment, can't remember. But I used to do many when I was a kid, because that was the way that we learned back then. So my dad would tell me, show me las planas for today. Okay, lines, just like making lines. Show me your lines today. And if I didn't have them all, I would get grounded, me castigaban, right? So I had to make all the lines, you know, like religiously. And then I started to create things, you know, because I got bored, because I get bored of doing this. Then I started doing this, ta, 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 and then this. And then I started to do this, ta, 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 and then filling them up, just to keep myself entertained. And that starts to make your brain be like, okay, we can be flexible. I guess some people never get bored, and they're very juiciosos. They're very dutiful, and they follow directions very well. I don't follow directions. I'm sorry. So people are like, okay, no, I just do it like that all the time, always the same. I can't. I get bored, and maybe that's my magic. Maybe my magic is that I get bored. But anyway, start copying until you get bored, in my case, or start copying until you find something else by mistake. No milk, cream. No cream, milk. Right? No ketchup. Let's try this. Ooh, it works. All right, so, but that was me. I took too long, sorry. Who's next?
Again,
Again, Juanca.
I should say that I have a bit confused in my first intervention, because my idea is try to say this idea: holder collect discriminality, artists collect selectively. So in this part, I will try to explain that the good stealer, or the good steal is when you try to pick up the best things of the another, or the previous ideas, or the previous situation, for afterward you doing the best work possible. So this one, I love this situation: holder collect discriminately, artists collect selectively. If you take the incomes of your life, closest friends, and average them, the resulting number will be pretty close to your income. So it's I like both ideas. First of all, because in this one, the idea is chose, but chose good, chose well, chose the well way. And when you pick up the good way, the performance, your performance well better, because you have a good insumo, right? So it's most possible to the work would be better that about insumo. I forget the word in English for insumo. So in the another one, it's like a synergy definition. When you mention 1 plus 1 is more than 2, because when you add two ideas, in the middle of this idea is the intention to do something else.
Mhm.
So in this case, is 1 plus 1 is more than 2, more than 2. I don't know if 3, I don't know if 4. Well, I don't know if in 2.2, but it's more than 2. So I enjoy this part of the reading.
And who has another idea derived from this part of the reading? If anybody has one, I don't know.
Yeah, because the main idea, when you merge the work for 2 people, or for 2, or for a work, teamwork, you need to give the better for you, for increase the performance in the work together. So is a productivity definition, or is possible a leadership definition, because you if you get the chance to lead a team, and who this performance is better than when they work split, or 1 by 1, is maybe the income, or is maybe the income to the work together, the work for the main idea, or for the for the same idea, or for the best as possible in this idea.
I have another definition, another understanding, another insight from this garbage in, garbage out. When my grandfather died, all of the things that he left behind were very interesting. And many people in the family wanted to keep different things that he owned, like his suits were all tailor-made and very well made. His suits, you know, like jackets and pants, and his ties. He used to smoke. He used to smoke a pipe. My grandfather used to smoke a pipe. So he would have like all of the tobacco would go into a tobacco bag, and it was spiced with different things. And he knew very much how to do that. And so he had that, and he had many things, and the different pipes, and he had different watches. And everything that he had was valuable after he died. And so I guess that he was not a person that had garbage in, garbage out. This guy was buying and getting things that after he left, appreciated in value. Compared with us today, Chuck, remember that Chuck was visiting in Colombia, and I gave him, I don't lie to you, I'm not lying to you, I gave him around 30 different things Apple.
Wow.
30 cosas de Apple que ya yo no usaba. My old computer, tablets and tablets, you know, like iPads. I had the first iPad, iPod, this and that, you know, like many things Apple. So he could take them back to the States for credit. He wrote me yesterday because he was in Switzerland because he's rich. He was in Switzerland on a 1 month vacation. So he finally came back and he went to the Apple store to do me a favor. And he told me, they told me that all that stuff is too old. You get 4 years to get credit, but all the stuff was more than 4 years old. So no credit. So what happens if Fabian dies today? If Fabian dies today, he's got a lot of things that were expensive at some point, but that now are just garbage. So in reality, you know, like I have an old iPad, iPod, iPhone, Apple Watch, you know, I have, you know, everything Apple, you know, this is a cemetery of Apple devices. But what is that? Garbage. So the realization in me is I just bought garbage. I didn't know. If I die and I leave you this phone, is garbage. This is a freaking iPhone 10. Okay, garbage. If I leave you my earbuds, they're gonna be garbage when I die. So I bought garbage and I didn't know. But my grandfather was very astute, and he bought many things that when he died, everybody wanted them because they were valuable. So it's the same with collecting. When you collect, think about it.
For the main of these nouns, these subjects. For the main, because it was your grandfather, and your grandfather put his value in this subject.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, like, it's just a way to think about what we collect too. If you collect garbage, garbage is what you're gonna get in the end. If you start to be very, I don't know, like that's the one reason why I think an education is important. Because an education is directing your attention to places you haven't paid attention to. And then you see different things. And then you appreciate. And then you have criteria. And then you choose wisely. And then you accumulate wealth. That's why traveling is so important. Because when you travel, you see things and you learn new things.
You open your mind.
Yes, and now you can collect things that have value in general. So
and the travel and the romance is the only thing that you carry on with your death.
True. Your experiences. You have to be also very picky with your experiences. Yeah. If you just like rumba and that's all you do all day, that's fine. But you have to understand that there's no value in rumba. After the rumba, únicamente queda what? The regrets, the hangover, the money, The money. Where's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
wallet?
The empty pocket.
The emptiness, the soul. Yeah. Anyway, so that's interesting.
Friends, the new friends.
So it takes me back, exactly. It takes me back to pick your friends wisely,
Okay.
pick your school, your teacher, pick your friends wisely. If you feel that your friend doesn't bring value into your life, stop. Don't be an asshole. Don't be like, oh no, bitch, I don't want to see you again. No, don't be an asshole. Just take a different way. Go in a different direction. Go somewhere else.
The wisely wise.
Yeah. Yes. Anybody else? A last one, because remember that tonight I'm reading. I'm starting a new set of readings, penthouse letters. O sea, la vulgaridad en pasta. Ahí no habían escuchado ustedes nunca vulgar. No es vulgaridad, es arte, ¿ok? Just relax. Es art. Pero los penthouse letters son muy icónicos porque son básicamente pornografía escrita. Vamos a ver si TikTok no me corta. Pero están interesantes. Ya tengo hoy la de hoy que se llama Doris. Se llama Doris. Se llama Dirty Dora. Dirty Dora. Dirty Dora.
Who is Doris? Who is Doris?
In the past, forget it.
Okay.
Nothing.
The background.
Yeah, it came back. It's a Freudian slip. Okay, but yeah, at 9:15 I'm reading. You're welcome to join at 9:15 tonight on TikTok. But let's do a last one. Who wants to go last? One snippet.
Teacher, I have a question for you. What
What's the
do you
question?
think about minimalism?
I love it.
Me too.
I love it. I think it's great. I mean, if you have it well designed, minimalism is open to interpretation. There's a book. I'm going to recommend you this book. It's called The Creative Habit, El Hábito Creativo. And it's written by Twyla Tharp. She was a very famous choreographer in New York, in Broadway. But her beginning was very peculiar. She said to her parents, I want to study dance. Imagine that your kid says that to you. All right, you're going to university now. What are you going to study? Dad, Mom, I decided to study dance. What are you going to do dancing? How are you going to make money? You're never going to, right? And she decided that was her path. And she started to worry because how am I going to make, how am I going to make money? How am I going to pay my bills? But what she did was when she graduated, she rented a place and called it her studio. And she just, she rented a loft in New York, in Manhattan, and she had no furniture. And she painted all the walls white. That was her idea of her studio. No furniture, white walls, that was it. And every day she would go to this place to think about dance alone, with no furniture, no distractions, not just white walls. And she started to see the things dance as the light of the day started to evolve from early in the morning to late in the evening, how the shadows shifted, the windows and everything. And she started imagining things. In this minimalistic space, open to interpretation, that's what she did. She started to interpret things. And she became the most celebrated choreographer in New York. And she has a set of rules or observations that she extracted from her experience at this place. It's called The Creative Habit. It's really cool. I'm going to send it to you. I love minimalism. When I came back to Medellín from the States, I rented, you can imagine I'm crazy, right? So I rented an office that I liked. I painted the walls white and I went there to think. That's what I did when I came back from Boston, because I'm crazy. And when I like something, I copy it. So I copied that and it worked for me. I had my studio for 6 years. I had to close it because of the pandemic. But it was a great moment because I had my thinking cave. I went there and I was so happy. I called it my studio. Like, where are you at? I'm at the studio. And it was my studio. And I went there to just do nothing, to think. And he helped. Anybody else?
I had another.
Oh, yeah. Please do.
Okay, can you see you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are, in fact, a marshal. See? Marshal?
Mashup.
Matchup. A matchup of what you choose to lay into in your life. You are the sum of your influence.
Says.
The influences. The German writer Goethe said, "We are shaped and fashioned by what we love."
Very astute. Mm-hmm.
Somos la sombra y la moda, ¿cierto? La sombra y fashion.
No, ese shaped, somos formados. Formados y estilizados puede ser.
Por lo que amamos.
Yeah.
No, y lo que nos gusta nos...
Esa es la forma y el estilo. La forma y el estilo suyo son lo que usted ama. Your wife, your kid, your job, the things that you do, your sport or your food, your movies. That's who you are. You watch TV, you don't watch TV.
The things that we love, we don't no arrepentimos.
Okay.
No regrets. No regrets.
No regrets when we dedicate time or spend time in...
Things become valuable that way. Absolutely. Very astute. Very astute. You have to surround yourself with what you like. Definitely. Become a devoted follower of what you like. So long as you see that this enriches me, that this gives me what the word that I have used a lot today, criteria. Criteria is the plural of criterion. Criterio in English is criterion, and in plural is criteria. It's a Latin word, and many Latin words are just like that. Bacterium, bacteria. Bacteria is plural, by the way. Bacterium is singular. Criterion is singular. Criteria is plural. It gives you the criteria to choose the things that you love. Choose wisely. Yeah. I think that there are things that we need to have always in our repertoire. I always have these, and I always have this with me, and I'm always listening to certain books, using certain apps, and I always religiously listen to those things because I like it. I like that or this, and it helps me create a world to share. Yeah. So, en a la moda de la doctora Polo, he dicho. What did you think of this session? Did you like it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, teacher, it's good.
Yeah, because increase our criteria, and a way to say that something special is challenging, is more difficult. Sometimes I feel stuck, but I know it's part of the process. It's part of the process. In my case,
yeah. Finally, all these things that we are sharing between among us is the thing that building us or make us as the person that we want to be.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we need to be careful with the thing that we spend time doing something maybe we need to think if it's worth to do it or not. If you really love what you are doing, this is very important. It's difficult sometimes because we are not sure if we are doing the correct thing sometimes, but the idea is that we try to, all the time we try to be a better person, or but all the thing that we are talking about is this, that all the time we are taking things for someone else, or the thing that we are that we see, or we see around us, and we can take advantage of that in order to do or to be the person that we want to be.
Thank you, Alex. It's true. My favorite part of this session was when we coincided. Yeah, like one person said that, and I also wanted to speak about that. That's my favorite part, because that coincidence helps us build something together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, encourages conversation. Something that results from, I chose that, me too. Why? Resolve your. I think that we need to collect more snippets, advance in the book, and collect snippets that you think that others haven't seen. Remember to collect to later give. So hopefully get that as your mission. You want to say, oh, cool, I think that this is my own, maybe not, but it stands to be proved. So next time, bring what you thought was not going to be part of the discussion. And also, do that with love. So next time when we meet, you have lots of things to share.
Another thing that shined today was Julia's jacket.
Julie's jacket is copyable. Es copiable. ¿Qué es eso? Eso es desigual. Eso es desigual. Parece como, más o menos como desigual, ¿no? Adidas.
Que se pare, que desfile, que
está muy lind. ¿Cómo dice lind en inglés? Lind. Está very lind. Está beige. Está beige. Very beige. Gorgeous. Que no se entienda que gorda, porque es muchas veces malinterpretación, malucos, y you're gorgeous. Ay, pero como así, respete.
I just have a couple of bananas.
Couple of bananas under the belt. All right, guys. So thank you very much. You're more than welcome to join in the reading. Comes next. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to be reading on TikTok, my vulgaridades. So bear with me. Acépteme como soy. Put your kids to bed. Acuesten a los niños. Acuesten a los niños y encierren a la suegra.
Have you done the warm up of the vulgaridades?
No. Of the vulgaridades? I'm good. I'm warmed up.
I was ready.
I'm ready.
Teacher,
I was born ready.
And Juanita
Juanita es una risa. Claro, porque yo en estos días estaba hablando de los diferentes aromas, de las vaginas y de los sabores. Bueno, imagínense en eso, ¿cierto? Y Juanita por allá con la mamá es que vea mi papá ahí hablando de los sabores de la vagina. It's a corrupted house. Es una casa corrompida. I'm sorry. Pero es con mucho cariño y afecto. Anyway, so I'll see you next. Okay, see you tomorrow.
See you next.
Bye, guys.